You'd think that after all the times that I was disappointed after ordering motorcycle parts off eBay that I would just give up hope, but that is not the case. I'm ready to be disappointed again. I just spent a whopping 55 big ones on this windscreen for my Rebel 1100, and today we're going to throw it on and see if it sucks.
Perfect.
Welcome back to Life of Birch. This is Birch, and that's right, even though I have not had the best experience on eBay, I figured 55 bucks, what do I have to lose? It looked awesome in the pictures, so best case scenario, it looks just as good on the bike. Worst case scenario, I get to post about how much it sucks and keep you guys from making the same mistake. But as you can see, I already have it open because I wanted to check it out to make sure that it wasn't a complete piece of crap before I started filming this video, and it looks promising, so fingers crossed that it fits just as good as it looks. Now before we get started, make sure to go ahead and subscribe if this is your first time here. Obviously you're interested in Rebel 1100 content, and I have tons of it already, and I got tons more to come, so subscribe so you don't miss out. Alright, now first things first, let's pop this bad boy open and see what we're working with. Obviously it's already open, like I said, but this is wrapped in plastic wrap, and I have not opened that up yet, so we're gonna live this together. Ooh, Alright, so this actually seems really high quality. I just like instinctively start walking over to throw this away as I'm talking to you guys. But yeah, this seems really high quality, honestly. The only thing that I can complain about that I already noticed is it's kind of a little bit rough down here from like the mold or whatever. But if I'm being honest, I saw that in the picture on eBay already, so I'm not super concerned about that. Is that a crack? No, it looks like just some sort of like little mark by the holes, maybe just marking where the holes go or something like that. Not a super big deal. But yeah, it's like super thick, actually really good quality. Overall, it's looking really good. I'm sure you'll be able to tell by the video, but this is just straight up black. Like, it's not dark smoke, it's black. You cannot see through it at all. This seller, and I think a couple other sellers, did have something that looked like this exact same windscreen on their store, and I think they had clear and dark smoke, but I went with the black because this is only going to cover like barely the gauge cluster, so it's not like, you know, it's going to be blocking into my field of view or whatever, and it should look super badass. I haven't gotten a windscreen yet because I was looking for something just kind of small like this where it would direct a little bit of wind around me but not look super big and doofy. I'm not doing any kind of like highway trips where I need like the giant windscreen or whatever, so I figured that this looked like a good option, and honestly just holding it up right here, it looks like it's gonna be friggin' perfect for what I want. Alright, so far this is looking good. This is looking better than $55 quality, and it's worth mentioning that like if you haven't looked into windscreens for these bikes before, 55 bucks I feel like is ridiculous for this. If you went for like Puig or one of like the name brand windscreens, those are like anywhere from 150 up to like 200 and something bucks, even for something this small. Even the teeny tiny little Honda cowl that barely does anything and it's just there for looks costs like over 220 bucks for that, plus the fairing stay. Fairing stay? Was that the right word? You know what I mean, like this little bracket thing for the Honda one. Which I guess that's a good segue. We can open this up and check out the fairing stay. Alright, so I've already taken this out of the bag before this to kind of check out the quality, and it honestly looks super solid. The finish on it looks good. The welds look decent enough. I mean, they're not the best welds ever, but I mean, you guys remember the welds that were on my Honda backrest. They're pretty much on par with that, and it's not like you'll see the welds anyway. But yeah, looks super solid. The finish looks good. It is nice because it has like these bolts that hold it on, and then it has these like metal, or maybe they're plastic. No, they seem metal, like metal washers that go around it. Those look really good. I've gotten a cheap Amazon windscreen before for my Rebel 500 that I ended up not putting on it, and these washers were rubber and ended up like splitting, and it just looked like crap. So overall, between these two things for 55 bucks, I'm already super blown away. Now, also inside the bag, you have just the mounting hardware. So you have what looks like 4 washers, 2 spacers, and 2 longer bolts. Oh, that's blown away too, so let's throw that away. So yeah, installation should be pretty straightforward because it looks like these just mount up right there on the brackets for the turn signals, and then I'm guessing that these spacers go between this and this to like sit it out further. Yeah, that looks like it makes sense. So yeah, assuming that this lines up properly, it looks like we're gonna be super stoked on the results, especially for 55 bucks. So let's go ahead and throw this thing on, see how it looks, see how it lines up. Like I said, first things first, we just got to remove these 2 bolts here, and these are both 5mm Allen keys. Ignore that I have like the world's rustiest Allen key ever. I don't want to talk about it. Alright, first one's off. Oh, that's what it is. So there's like a sleeve on it, so I guess it's not actually a spacer. This sleeve just takes place of that. That makes a lot of sense, actually. And second one is off. Next, we're going to mount this bracket up. Let's see how that's going to fit. Yep, so it looks like the little swoop up part is going to be the top of it. So we're going to mount that up using the provided hardware right here. And like I said, it looks like these sleeves actually go in there. Yep. So yeah, we'll put a sleeve in each one. Hope that that's how it works. Not entirely sure what these washers are for because there's 4 of them and it feels like we only need 1 on the front of each. So we're just going to use 1 and just hope that these 2 left over aren't like make or break. All right, so we got 1 washer on each of the provided bolts, and then each of these is actually a 4mm. No, I lied. Is that one a 5? So this is still the 5. Can you tell I'm a pro? So yeah, we're going to use these to mount that up. Get that one on loosely so we can attach this one. And now they're both on loosely. Cool. I really like that with the design of this. It like comes up here a little bit. So like it's the little things, you know? You can still fit an Allen key in there just fine. You see that? I feel like that's not the thoughtfulness that normally comes with a $55 windscreen. Normally you gotta like struggle to get an Allen key wedged in there somehow. Alright, so they're both tightened down. Looking nice and sturdy. And now it's time for that 4mm that I was talking about. So we got the 4mm Allen key and a 10mm here. We're just gonna take these joints off. Oh, and there's washers on the back too, so make sure that those don't fall off, and then use these to mount that up and see how it looks. Alrighty, let's see how this lines up here. Looking like it's actually fitting pretty well. So we got that one going there and that one going there. Hold it in place and then we'll thread these onto the back just hand tight so that it stays in place. Okay, same thing for the bottom ones. And now that they're all hand tight, we can kind of stand back and look at it.
First thing I do is I say, would you look at this?
And it's gonna look really freaking good, guys. I don't think this rough edge is gonna bother me too much, but yeah, it looks freaking sick. Only minor complaint I have so far is that it would be really nice if these were black, but minor details, you know, I could literally take like some fingernail polish to that or something like that and make it black. Alright, now with our 4mm Allen key and our 10mm wrench, we're going to tighten them down, and I'm assuming we want it tight, but not super tight because we don't want to crack the plastic somehow. Alright, that should do it. She's on there nice and sturdy. Everything lines up. It's not like touching the headlight, so you can let some air through there and it's not gonna like rub the headlight or anything like that. Dude, this thing looks sick. Are you kidding me? I friggin' love this, and it looks so good because it almost makes it look like the front end comes up a little bit higher, so it like goes in line with the sissy bar. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Like it really doesn't come up that much higher than this, but I feel like it just like completes the front end, you know? Now, how much wind deflection it'll actually do, I have no idea, so we'll get out here in a second and test that out. But I gotta say, so far for $55, I am blown away by the quality. Like not just the quality of the product, but like the way that it fits, the way that it looks. This is so sick. Yeah, see, this is what you gotta do. You gotta come in with 0 expectations. It's always the installs where I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so sick, and then it gets messed up or I don't like it or whatever and I get bummed. If you come in with absolutely 0 expectations and you're like, I bought a $55 piece of plastic from China, what's the worst that could happen? And then it exceeds your expectations, then you're a happy camper, you know? And look at what else I didn't even realize. Maybe they did this on purpose, maybe they didn't. This is the exact height of this. Like this perfectly lines up with the bottom line of the turn signal bracket. Like that makes my OCD so happy. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, needless to say, so far I am stoked not only on the fit and finish of it, but just how it looks, and I don't know. $55, you can't beat it. Unless it flies off on the highway. Let's hop on the bike and do the official first ride and see if it actually deflects any wind or if it just looks cool. Alright, now this will be the true moment of truth, especially because today is super windy. I don't know if you can tell by how much the trees have been blowing around and rustling. So this should be a really, really good test.
A few moments later.
What a ride. We hopped on the highway and went for a little bit of a speed run and actually got really, really bad speed wobbles. You guys know that I've had speed wobbles with this bike before. Lots of other people have as well. Anytime you're over like 80, 85 and you open it up, it's almost like it has so much power that the front end gets a little bit of lift and gets a little bit of wobble. Well, I experienced that really, really badly. It's almost like this thing turned into a kite and started lifting the front end up. A little bit sketchy, so I pulled over and I actually turned the preload up a half turn using a tool that I got from the most handsome YouTuber, Gus from On the Rebel 11, so make sure to check out his channel. Shout out Gus. And of course, what would it be without a little bit of a hiccup? So of course, as I was adjusting it, I scratched my bar a little bit, but it is what it is. So yeah, I turned it up a half turn of preload in the front, got back on the highway, did another little speed run, and it was definitely a lot better. Still had a little bit of a wiggle on the front end, so I might turn it up a hair more and see if that helps. If you have any other suggestions, let me know. But yeah, turning it up that little bit definitely helped. help, so I'm just going to play around with the front suspension a little bit and see if that gets it dialed in. Other than that, it was great. I did some cruising at like 60, 70, 50, kind of all across the board, mostly hovered over 70 or 80, and this was a huge improvement. I could definitely feel the wind either like, I doubt that it was going all the way over my helmet, but at least hitting like mid-helmet and just like rolling over it. I'm used to getting a lot of neck strain on the highway with this just because it's completely naked, like there's nothing sending wind around you, and I didn't get that at all, even when I was cruising for like a consistent 80 something miles per hour. And there were two other dead giveaways that I could tell it was directing wind around me a lot better than just having nothing on there. And the first one is the fact that my helmet is a Bell Raystar DLX, and I love the helmet, but the only gripe that I have with it is that if your visor's open, anytime you're going over like 13 to 15 miles per hour, you get a really bad whistle in the helmet from the air that's going inside of it. Well, almost immediately as I was pulling out of my neighborhood, I noticed that I didn't have any whistle with that all the way up until like 30 or 35, sometimes a little bit higher. And that's the first time I noticed like, wow, the wind is definitely either going over me or just being directed around me in some way. Because normally as soon as I hit 15 miles per hour, I got to close my visor. I know it should technically be closed before that so that nothing hits my eyes, whatever. With this, I could get up to like 30 or 35 without any issue. Sorry, I'm all up in your way.
No, you're not.
What a guy. He just said, no, you're not. Oh yeah, that just reminded me. I don't know why that reminded me, but also part of my ride here, as we were coming through downtown Annapolis, I saw the dirt bike boys. I don't know what's going on with that. Normally Baltimore is known for the dirt bike guys, but they've been coming out in Annapolis a lot more. And the first one that I saw had a 23 on his number plate. And as you guys know, 23 is my lucky number. I have it tattooed on my face. Is that a sign to get a dirt bike and start doing wheelies on it? How's it going?
That's the big one? Yeah, that is. 1100.
Yeah. Yep, I love it. I've had the 300, the 500, and the 1100.
Yeah, is that one the best one?
Oh, for sure.
How was the 5?
The 5 is really good. I would have kept the 5 if it weren't for this coming out. If you ever watch YouTube, I have a channel, Life of Birch. I have videos, Life of Birch, like the birch tree, but it's B-U-R-C-H. Hi. And like I said, I've had the 300 and 500 Rebel. What? And my girlfriend has the 300 Rebel now.
300 is the single, right?
Yeah.
I'll look it up when I get home.
Yep.
I'm probably making a video right now and I'm
Oh, no, you're good. I am making a video, but you didn't screw anything up. Keeps the monotony out of just talking about a windscreen that I put on. It works great for a $55 eBay windscreen, especially with the GoPro on my chin. On the highway, the wind catches it and like pulls my helmet down, but it's like smooth over my helmet now. Yeah. Have a good one. See, you gotta love it. If you see me out and I'm filming, don't feel like you shouldn't distract me or whatever. I'm gonna get distracted regardless because I'm super ADD, but if you see me out filming and I'm doing a review, you'll get first-hand, real-life experience of what it's like. As I was saying, not only just the whistle was a dead giveaway that it was working a lot better than having nothing on there, but also just the fact that my helmet wasn't getting pulled down on the highway. Because I ride with my GoPro, obviously it's a big square in front of my face. It's gonna turn into a sail, catch wind, and pull my chin down, so it's always kind of a struggle. With this, even when I was cruising at 80, 85, I had nothing pulling my chin down. Like, I mean, for real. And I'm like 5'10", 5'11" on a tall day. And that little teeny tiny thing was able to direct wind either over me entirely or like to the top of my helmet to the point that I didn't even notice because it was just going around me. Now, I definitely still had some wind hitting like my shoulders, kind of, because, like, it's super narrow, so obviously it's gonna like lead straight up to your helmet and direct stuff around your helmet, and then you're still gonna get some wind on your shoulders. But overall, just on that quick little like half hour, 40-minute ride that I just did, the strain is like nothing compared to what it normally would have been from the wind just thrashing my helmet doing 70, 80, 90, 100 on the highway. Of course, anything that you saw where the speed was over the speed limit, that was not me. That was my test dummy that I hired to do it. I have no idea what their name is. I paid them in cash. It was not me because I don't break the law. So yeah, verdict is in. For $55, you cannot beat it if you're looking for just a small, sporty windscreen. Damn, I'm just so stoked on how this bike's coming together. Like, it's literally becoming everything I ever dreamed of. It's like the ultimate, like, sporty, comfortable, practical, badass cruiser. Don't mind me, I'm just drooling over this freaking sexy ass bike. Anyway, I'll leave a link in the description of where I got that windscreen from, but you guys know how eBay works. Lots of time they'll take a listing down and put it up as something different. But if you search for Rebel 1100 windscreen on eBay, literally anything that looks like that and is in the $55 range is going to be the same exact thing. Lots of different sellers had it. Like I said, I got the all black one. They have a dark smoke. I think they might have had a light smoke and a clear one also. So lots of different options. Regardless, I'm sure you're going to be getting the same thing. Stay tuned for more installs, guys. The next thing that we're throwing on is going to be the Burley brand brake pedal and shift pedal. I feel like they're called levers, but I always want to call it a pedal because the levers are those and I don't want to confuse people. But it's going to be this thing and the other one on the other side, and it's going to be the MX style that matches this. I've been putting off that install for a really long time as I figured out all my garage stuff and blah 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 blah. But that's going to be the next install, and then we're also going to be putting in the Burley brand fork inserts. So that should actually help out with the front end wobble a whole lot, hopefully, because it'll help eat up some of those road imperfections that cause the shake. And then that's the only thing that I actually have in the works to put on this bike. So let me know in the comments what you guys want to see go on it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Peace.
Oh, so basic. Hope you play this. Damn, I prayed it. Nice song, and I became this. Old souls fake it. Paid those placements. Fuck shit. And I'm still waiting on the brighter days. Been a minute, been rough many times more. And I'm kicking rocks to a sky of gray. Praying hard, talk to me before I'm done for.